and welcome back to the sweet sound. Oof, shush. And welcome back to Pong Plays. My name is sensei-pong, and this is Starcraft 2, the visual novel. Where we left off, we were talking to these two. So let's go. Oh my gosh, I kind of forget what was going on in the story. I know I went into the cyber cafe and fought a Kel, got my butt handed to me, impressed me enough where he's like, hey, come check out the team. And this girl, I forget what her name was, she's all like, you can, with her arms crossed, and be like, I don't trust them new kids and foreigners. You're not around these parts. And that's pretty much it. I wouldn't have much ground to stand on if I disagreed with her. It's Jet, is one of those few who have accomplished what the rest of us dreamt about. Don't be so harsh. His style is solid, and he stood toe-to-toe with me for a while. With enough time, he could compete. What do you think? Why don't you practice with him a bit? I could. Little harm in giving him a chance. Wait, back up. What just happened? Did he say practice? And did she say yes? Akel answers with a pleased expression. Jet takes a moment to stretch out before again crossing her arms across her chest. Stop staring and say something, Mach. The sound of my name wakes me up from my stunned silence. I jolt upright and offer a flurry of nods. Sorry, I say yes. I definitely say yes. Jet and Akel watch me in silence until I lower myself back into my seat. It takes some determination to come out here alone. Let's see if it translates to win, eh? With a thumbs up, it's settled. I have somehow found myself with one of the best practice partners in the world. I really hope this isn't just for the novelty of playing with some random foreigner. Akel, it's about time to get back to all-out attack. Wouldn't want to get DQ'd if we'll be matching in the semis. Can you be certain that I didn't lose to Mach already? What if this was my way of saving face? Funny. Have you lost to a foreigner even once? Xenophobes. Hey, you never know who's playing on a barcode account. You sure you don't want a pot split? Final offer? Collude with you? Not a chance. What about you, Mach? Gonna stick around? A PC bang with the bustle of a tournament isn't a great training environment. The bracket will probably take a few hours to work through, too. No, I'm gonna head home. Got a lot of practicing to do tonight. Leaving already? Well, hey, it was good to meet you, man. Be at the Golden Stone Fire tomorrow morning, and we'll find out if you're overhyped. Will do. I rise and offer them each a nod and thanks before heading back towards the PC area. The last thing I see is a vague smile from Jet as she leans over and whispers something to Akel. Bum bum bum. I squeeze my way through the growing crowd and manage to make it through the doorway leading outside. When I hit the street, I'm met with a cool breeze and a rush of voices, sound and light. This is it. A shot. One final shot to make it happen. One last chance to live the life I want. I quicken my pace, eager for the comfort of a dark room and bright monitor. Bum 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 bum. I spend the rest of the night playing solitaire. This is the day that evening changes. To the stars. The Starcrafts. Wait, what? Wait, what? Is that it? Is that it? Is that really it? Nope, no, okay. I was like, wait, I thought this was a full story. That is just kind of... I would have been like, oh, enough with this slice of life crap. It's like, with the slice of life... Okay, so there are some... Okay, I give slice of life stories a bad rap, but because there are some really good ones. Like the ones where it has like a bunch of stories, and it's like kind of gives an atmosphere and a whole idea, you know, molded around like these little snippets here and there. And then there's also other things where it's about one person, but it's like this whole giant... There tends to be kind of a theme, normally. Well, not even that. Not normally, but there's usually an idea or a feeling that comes across without even really having to say it. It really just kind of shows, which is a good thing for any kind of drama, but that's beside the point. The big problem with slice of life I have is a lot of people do slice of life thinking, oh, I'm going to be artistic and just do a slice of life thingy, but the problem that people end up having is that they don't have a clear beginning, middle, or end, and it just doesn't speak to, let's say, 95% of your audience. You're going to have the 5% of the audience which are going to read into it and be like, oh my gosh, it's the deepest thing in the world. The other 95% and it's like, that seemed kind of pointless and I just wasted 2 hours of my life. So I'm glad this isn't one of those. Because, true to her word, Jet sent me a reminder to get over to the Golden Zone Fire for some morning practice. I enjoy playing online and all, but matching against someone only a few feet away is way more productive. Talking over games in person makes it easier to get feedback and improve, and that's what I need more than anything else. The sting from my failure at the VSL qualifier will take time to fade. I don't want to experience that pain ever again. It hurt. The catch! I kept sight of Jet in the middle row. Her attention locked on a ladder game without disturbing her. I take a seat at her side and watch the match unfold. Furious taps and clicks rattle her keyboard. Her focus never drops from the game, much less than her monitor. She's ahead, though not by much. It's not long until she extends her lead in the late game, and a few minutes later heaves a sigh of relief when her opponent rage quits out. There's no need for me to consult the Korean skills to understand her final message, Zerg Imba. You actually showed. Color me surprised. How could I not? The better question is how you have the free time to practice some amateur. I'm the charitable sort, obviously. Anyway, you're here, so let's stop wasting time. You've paid for your PC, yeah? I nod and log myself into the station next to hers. A minute later, the two of us are grinding out practice matches. Bum 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 bum. Game after game is a beatdown. I can't crack her defenses, and when I attack, I'm barely holding on when she goes on offense. She's just as unforgiving as pointing out my mistakes as she is in game. Your wall at the ramp to your natural is trash. How the hell do you get away with this? You're asking to get busted. It's not something I really think about that much. I just throw it up, you know? Fix it or be punished. That probably isn't an idle threat. Jet is the type of player capable of ending the game instantly if she can capitalize on the right kind of mistake. Her style has been characterized as both passive and reactive. She takes her time and watches her opponents, patient for the right moment to strike. She only takes a risk if it's calculated in her favor. Given her former success, the style has suited her well, though I can't help but wonder if she hasn't lately been performing at her previous level. Maybe she's lost some of her killer instinct. That's a pretty good game. Completely different game. Guess not. A reminder of the skill difference between us rushes up the ramp on my natural expansion and crushes my wall, as promised. In the aftermath of the destruction, she swarms my base and seizes an easy win. Jet revels in her victory with a predatory smile. Wrecked. Before we get into the next game, I catch sight of a familiar face coming into the cafe. Vroom. Fade out. Huh? Isn't that the same guy from last night? Hey Jet, do you know who that is? A thumb in the stranger's direction as he passes by us. His attention is occupied by a cell phone screen. Jet trails a look after him, wrinkles her nose, and shrugs. He's a KPGA player. Protest. What about him? Come on, get into the game already. Seriously? He was all-out attack yesterday. What's he doing outside on his team house 2 days in a row? They're only figuratively chained to their desks. Not all of them are shut-ins. Stop wasting time. Let's go. I double-take away from Jet to find the player in question seated a few rows in front of us. And he's got the Starcraft 2 client open. Why would a KPGA player spend his practice time on anything but Brood War? Should I ask him for a game? Oh, should I ask him for a game? I think I'm going to ask him for a game. What? No, hold on, wait. You can't just... But before she can stop me, I rise and shuffle my way past to the rows of computers. Jet shoots me a withering with... I know the word, it's just for some reason it's just like not like popping in my head on how to pronounce that correctly. Withering glare over the top of her station before ducking back down. Even though I barely interacted with the guy, I can't help but feel a little anxious as I edge closer to his PC. Sure, he was a bit rude when we spoke, but the chance to challenge a KPGA pro is too good to pass up, especially if I'm trying to step up my game. He's about to jump into a match when I clear my throat right behind him. He suddenly alt-tabs and then turns to regard me through half-lidded eyes. What? Excuse me, would you mind a practice game? No. I'm just here to... He pauses. Recognition flits across his face. You're the guy from All Out Attack yesterday, aren't you? I nod sheepishly. His only reaction is to stare on. For a moment, he looks ready to dismiss me and get to laddering. But at the last second, he nods. Alright, one game. With a final nod, I return to my station. A moment later, he and I share a game lobby and just about ready to begin. He's playing on a barcode account. Typical. How have I still not managed to catch this guy's name? A sharp tap against my headphones announces Jet's return and displeasure. You're obnoxious. If you lose and embarrass me by association, I'm gonna pretend I don't know you. Anything else Jet has to say is drowned out along with the sounds of golden zone fire when I pull the ear pad back on. He plays protests? If the idea behind practicing against a good player is to improve, I should probably play standard. Still, the temptation to all in is always there. How sick would it be to grab a quick win on a KPGA player? Go for an early attack, or play out a standard game? He is good, so let's... He knows me as all-out attack, so he's probably going to expect that. Let's play the standard game. Switch it up. It's probably best to follow Jet's advice. I opt for a standard macro management game. This guy's built permitting. I take my natural expansion and begin teching up. The match progresses quietly with only a few brief skirmishes with the stalkers and my marines. My scan show that he's not doing anything out of the ordinary. One of us has to make a move sooner or later. I start constructing my starport and researching my bio upgrades. I'm surprised to find that they finish without any pressure coming from the protest army. This could be a good time for me to go drop play and try to snipe some of the critical tech buildings. If I were to play an aggressive drop style, I need to be confident in my control and the fact that I can outplay him. On the other hand, this game has been exceptionally quiet. If I could get up another expansion, I'll have a serious economic advantage going into the late game. Ugh. Should we get aggressive with our drop ships? Drop down the aggression of the ship get? Or base third early and risk? Let's see. Oh my gosh. These are weird choices for a visual novel. It's like you want to play StarCraft without actually playing StarCraft? Here you go. Well, bollocks. This might take me some time. I'm gonna drink my coffee. You know what, this is probably a stupid move, but I'm gonna go with what I would normally do and risk that early third base. Now I feel like I've lost. I cut Marines long enough to save up for a quick third base. It finishes before my first drop ships is even out. Just my expansion is about to land. A red blip shows up on my minimap. Is it a void ray? I have missile turrets to defend, so I should be fine. Nope. No, I doubt it. Wait, no! It's floating in the outskirts of my base. A warp prism? He'll He'll be able to warp his units into my base. My army is completely out of position. Bum 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 bum. He starts warping in just outside my static defenses. Zealots rush into my base and tear my mineral line to pieces before I can move units back to defend. This is bad. Why are you lagging? Oh god, he's at my natural too. He's got such a big army. I can't keep my defenses up with my economy crippled. Economy. I spread myself way too thin. Ugh, if only I had done a better job scouting. With my production structures camped, my units die almost the second they finish training. That's checkmate. Bum, 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 bum. I don't have to sulk in defeat before the KPGA player makes his way over to me with a smirk. As promised, Jet is nowhere to be seen. That was greedy. Though it's difficult to be graceful in defeat, I try my best anyway. Yeah, well, it's not something I've practiced a whole lot, and didn't really produce as efficiently as I could have. Wouldn't have mattered. Bad mechanics should be at the least of your worries. Why is this lagging all of a sudden? His grin darkens to one without humor. Is this guy serious? What the hell is your problem? You demand a game and whine when you get a little pushback? Look who's talking. Everyone knows your type, the foreigner out to make a name for himself. You fly out here on a whim and waste 6 weeks training. You aren't the first and unfortunately won't be the last. Your plane ticket doesn't buy you the right to call yourself a pro gamer. Save your money and your time and go back home. I feel the heat rise in my face, half in anger and half in embarrassment. I've never dealt well with confrontation. But before I can say anything else, Jess steps out from around the corner and cuts between the two of us. Still great at making friends, huh, Bolt? He glances between the two of us, surprised. After a moment's pause, the so-called Bolt seizes back his smirk and meets Jet with a step forward. Been a while, hasn't it? What's a supposed Star League champion doing with trash like this? Bolt looks past her and tilts his head toward me. I take a step towards him, but an open palm from Jet stops me from going any further. Maybe I shouldn't be surprised. Jumping ship into a scene bloated with foreign money has its upsides, but it won't be long before you forget the dignity of a pro gamer. That dignity of a pro gamer, huh? You make it sound so distinguished. You've changed for the worse and don't even realize it. How sad. Shouldn't be much longer before the KPGA finally accepts that there's no future in Brood War. You're smart enough to know what happens then. But hey, the scene can always use more casters. Whatever you say, for the record, what excuse did you give your coach for another day off? VIP's a little more lax in Shock T1, but I might want to borrow it someday. At that, Bolt scowls. Jet doesn't waste an opening and strikes again. Don't worry. Dong saying? Oh. Don't worry, Dong saying. Your secret's safe with me. Run along now, I'm sure you've got coins to flip or something. The standoff lasts a moment longer before Bolt lets out a lazy shrug, instantly killing off the intensity of his expression. He's all like emo. This is golden. I've got better things to do than offer my advice to a mouthy chobo. Do what you want, kid. He thumbs his nose at me and returns to his station without another word. As soon as Bolt's out of sight, Jet takes my arm in a vice and practically drags me away. What the hell was that? Did you lose your eyes? Expand and hope for the best? Even after a heated confrontation, her concern is with the match before anything else. I almost laugh. I don't know. I was just trying to be kind of tricky and put my third base where he wouldn't have normally scouted. It's blatantly obvious that you were expanding if you haven't shown an army that late in the game. All you had to do was look around the map and collect a free win. Her pointed critique diffuses attention from moments prior, even if it doesn't exactly make me feel any better. When she's done going through my long list of mistakes, Jet flicks a hand back towards the PCs. Come on, cue up a game against me. So we lost a game against Bolt. All these people have funny names. Just an observation. And with that, I'm going to say, wait until next time here on Pong Plays with Wait until next time we're on Pong. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's see what happens. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Do I fulfill my dreams of being the next big thing on Broadway, or not? You're gonna have to wait until next time. I keep saying next time. Whatever. I'm really bad at these closing and opening things. What did I click? Okay. Nothing happened. I was about to click the turn off. Whatever. Like and subscribe.